Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back putting a positive spin on Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2. The infamous Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2, with the infamous scene. Garbage day. I mean, I had to get that out of the way, right? That's everybody's favorite scene in this. It's also a big positive, because it's very entertaining. Now, before I get into the rest of my positives, I think it's only fitting to show flashbacks from my controversial view of the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. As one of the most controversial horror films of its time, Silent Night, Deadly Night is an obligatory pick for controversial view. Released in 1984, the film was pulled from theaters after only 2 weeks. People were outraged, and the release of the movie was picketed by angry parents who did not like seeing Santa Claus depicted as an axe murderer. If you're still with me, hopefully it makes sense to you why I'm showing this. Here's a bit more. The angry parents picketing outside cinemas asked patrons to sign petitions to have the movie removed. Even the TV ads were pulled from networks, since they depicted Santa Claus with an axe. I thought this was a clever idea, so hopefully you're not getting too annoyed yet. As if all this wasn't bad enough, a total of about 6 minutes was cut from the final film to avoid an X rating. Of course, the movie was later released uncut on home video. I promise, I'll get to my Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 positives right after this final clip from my Silent Night, Deadly Night controversial view. Now, for those of you who somehow still haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, don't get hung up on the controversy. This is a really good slasher film. And a clever one at that. I think people tend to focus only on the controversy and fail to realize how smart this movie is. It's not a Psycho Santa for the sake of being a Psycho Santa. There is a psychological aspect to the film. There's a good reason why the killer dresses as Santa in this one. In addition, this movie is very festive. It has a great Christmas feel. I absolutely love the toy store setting, and it's like a time capsule, featuring so many toys of the 80s. The kills are gory and fun, especially in the uncut version, and there is plenty of gratuitous nudity in Silent Night, Deadly Night, including from Scream Queen herself, Linnea Quigley. Okay, now we can continue with this sequel. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is the 1987 follow-up to Silent Night, Deadly Night. For years, it received a lot of criticism, and some even referred to it as one of the worst horror sequels ever made. Only recently, though, it's begun to obtain sort of a cult following. A lot of that, I think, has to do with the fact that Scream Factory released it as a collector's edition on Blu-ray. I do own that, by the way, as well as the Anchor Bay double feature with the first 2 Silent Night, Deadly Night films. But I've elected to show this original VHS release instead, because it's pretty awesome. Now, on to the rest of my positives. Eric Freeman as Ricky is so over-the-top entertaining. I love how he so quickly goes from laughing hysterically to stone-cold mad. Truthfully, all of the flashbacks can be seen as a positive. Anyone who hasn't seen the first film is able to watch this one without missing a beat. And it's almost like watching 2 movies in one. Also, all of the flashbacks are pretty much the best scenes from Silent Night, Deadly Night. So, this sequel basically cuts to the chase. The same can be said when we finally see Ricky's story start playing out. The killing starts immediately, and I'll get to the kills in just a bit. Everything feels so exaggerated in this movie. The characters, the dialogue, the facial expressions, the movements. I guess it had to be that way to conform to Ricky's performance. Even the kills are over the top. Speaking of which, The kills are a big positive. The umbrella kill is awesome. The jumper cable kill is great. Or I guess I should say it's electrifying. Then there's, of course, strangulation by car antenna and the aforementioned Garbage Day Massacre. That leads up to the over-the-top car explosion. Yes, I said over-the-top again. Elizabeth Caton as Jennifer is a positive. She also played Robin in Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. In that, she was a redhead, but in this, she's a blonde. Thankfully, she's naked in both. As Ricky describes her in Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2, she's a knockout. The movie theater scene is nostalgic fun. This whole movie is fun, especially after those first 40 minutes of flashbacks. Ricky's story is a blast. I genuinely think this is an underrated Christmas slasher, overshadowed by its predecessor. I love the neighborhood setting, which appears to be springtime, until later on it fittingly becomes Christmas Eve in the film. That alone is a positive. I love Christmas horror. We get Christmas decorations, a Christmas parade on TV, and, of course, Ricky as a killer Santa. Mother Superior's makeup is good, and the climax between her and Ricky is another positive. Like Ricky says, I love a chase. The beheading looks cool, and I love the last shot before the end credits. Despite all of the hate this one used to receive, I kind of love Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2. But you don't have to agree. This is just my positive spin. Please be sure to check out Jason's as well. What do you think of this Christmas slasher sequel? Comment below and let me know. To which hated Part 2 will we next give a positive spin? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.